So, if you don't know, before I moved to Atlanta in 2022, I lived in Dallas and I'd been there for 7 years. Just a couple of days ago, I had an opportunity to go back, and it was for a brief moment. But while I was there, I had a few extra minutes to spare, so I drove past my last apartment and I remembered all that I was experiencing in that apartment. I remembered going through a breakup. I remembered having suicidal thoughts. I remembered battling with depression and anxiety and a spirit of heaviness. And I allowed the Lord to minister to me in that moment while I sat there. Remembering where I was before I left and knowing where I am now, I was overwhelmed with gratitude for how far God has brought me. And in that season, that last year when I was in that apartment, that's when I found God. Literally on my living room floor every day, just crying out to God, like, God, if you're real, I need you to show me you. I need you to do something because I don't have it to give. I don't have anything inside of me. And I remember God just telling me to hold his hand, not verbally, but I remember him saying, hold my hand. And do you trust me? And I remember giving a yes to God. And over the past 4 years, since that yes, I have been to places that I never would have imagined. I've met so many different people. I got an opportunity to experience what entrepreneurship feels like. Um, I'm not the same person at all. And I'm not where I want to be, but in this stage, in this space where I am so grateful that I'm not where I used to be. And in that moment, I just feel like that whole season was me placing an altar where I could meet God. And going back to that space, it's like, okay, God, this is where I found you. And I felt like it was a full circle moment. I felt like God was telling me that it's going to be okay. You had to come back here to remember some things because I feel like you've lost your faith. And I don't know what that means for someone else, but sometimes you have to go back to the places where you met God and where God had provision for you. And you remember those things. And it allows you to create space for Him to show up again in your future circumstances. So I don't know if this helps somebody.